CERN.
How they thought that there were other dimensions, other worlds all around us, and how they wanted to try and make a window, so they could look through and see what's on the other side.
The grand opening of our whatchamacallit, which thanks to the lobbying of Lisa Simpson, we built instead of a new baseball stadium. At least the pennant works both ways. Professor Frank will now throw a switch, which will either answer certain obscure questions of subatomic physics or destroy the universe.
Oh my God, Particle.
What is it, Professor?
You can tell your grandchildren you were here when humanity finally learned that this accelerator is much too small to tell us anything important.
Thanks a lot, Lisa.
That money could have been used for a war.
No one takes Willie's mop. Take them up. Take them up.
Huh? A mini black hole. Oh no! I gotta take it away before more clueless kids fall into it.
Geronimo!
As rich, as poor and shackless.
Lisa, do you have a stray dog down there?
It's a lot worse than a stray dog.
2 stray dogs?
It's a black hole.
That was gonna be my next guess.
Are you sure your next guess wasn't 3 stray dogs?
Maybe. A black hole? I'm sorry, can we call it that?
Yes, it's the preferred term, and most scientists believe that what enters a black hole never comes out. But some think they may be a gateway to other universes.
Hey, can it open a pencil bag for me? Help a brother out, PH. Woohoo! Ow!
Guys, stop throwing things in the hole. The more you throw in, the bigger and more dangerous it becomes.
Come on, you can't look at that infinitely dense little guy and not want to feed it something.
Dad, don't pat it.
Why shouldn't that? You little stuck. I'm nature's perfect choking machine.
Okay, that's it. I'm putting a baby gate across the black hole. And don't throw anything more into
Grand Rising, my lovely butterflies. This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video. And if you enjoy the content, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I love you guys so much. I missed you guys. I welcome you guys back to the channel. I feel very blessed to be able to present this video to you guys today. I pray that you all are having a great day. I pray that you all are in great spirits, taking care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. And yeah, I just, pray that everything is going well with you guys. I really care about you all. I really appreciate all the love and support that you show me on this channel. And guys, today we have something very deep to talk about. So go and get your snacks because this video is kind of long. So I hope that you guys have time, and the patience to actually watch this video because I have some important things to discuss. As you can tell by the title of this video, I will be discussing the solar eclipse. I will be giving a little history of the solar eclipse and some of the dark things that this event could possibly be connected to in our society. And as we all know, April 8th was the day of the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse takes place when the moon passes between the earth and the sun. And within the 21st century, according to research, there will be a total of 224 solar eclipse events. And after doing some research, I discovered that there is a deeper, dark meaning behind these events that could explain some of the demonic activities that have been taking place in our society. And for many cultures, the solar eclipse events was a terrifying time. The ancient Chinese believed that the solar eclipse was a sign of a dark ending. They also believed that when an eclipse occurred, a demon or a dragon swallowed the sun. And as a result of this, they would cause a commotion by banging pots and pans together in hopes of scaring the demon or the dragon away so the sun could return. During Greek times, they believed that the solar eclipse was a bad omen or a symbol of their sun god's anger towards humanity. They also believed that humans on earth, when they did something that didn't meet the approval in the eyes of their sun gods, the eclipse was the sun abandoning the earth to cause havoc and chaos. And the word eclipse is the actual Greek term for the meaning abandonment. Now, in current times, many Christians view this event as a sign of God's judgment and return. Now, with all the cultural myths and beliefs that are attached to this event, it makes you wonder what is actually happening when the solar eclipse occurs. And according to an Architectural Digest report, it states that the eclipse represents a period of darkness and spiritual restoration, giving humans an opportunity to self-reflect and to shed old negative energies. Now, the fact that energy doesn't diminish, it only transfers, it just makes you wonder, if this is the case, where is this dark energy actually going to? Now, as mentioned in my last video, the New Age movement is very popular, and the demonic entities that are associated with New Age spiritual beliefs and practices are connected to ancient paganism and sun god worship. And keep this in mind, butterflies, because there are so many people who participate in these practices who are fully aware of where their connections to these entities are coming from, and they also are aware that these entities are who they communicate with often when they're manifesting, when they're contacting these spirits for guidance, protection, spells, and also manifestation rituals. Now, since these entities are energy in orbs, which is actually dark matter, scientists are discovering ways to not only communicate with this matter through innovative technology developments, such as artificial intelligence, one of their most popular experiments at this time right now, but to also see and locate this demonic energy with the human eye. Now, this is where CERN comes into play. CERN is the European Organization for Nuclear Research, which is the world's largest physics laboratory today. Also, there are over 10,000 scientists from over 100 countries that meet at the CERN facility to conduct experiments using the laboratory's largest and most intricate scientific devices ever designed. Their mission is to discover what the universe is made of, and through the law of physics, what controls its behavior. So pretty much, scientists are not only creating scientific devices that will help them locate demonic energy, but to also place this energy in a controlled environment so they can observe the demonic energy and also to interact with it in order to receive knowledge, wisdom, guidance, and instructions. And although a lot of people may deny these claims, a lot of people that work for these facilities, a lot of these scientists, they may deny these claims, but in reality, they're actually putting it right in your face. They're actually telling you what they're doing. But they feel that a lot of people is going to let it fly over their heads because they're not into a lot of these scientific discoveries, or they don't think that they're anything that can actually impact humanity or our society. But in reality, these things are very dangerous, and it's actually manifesting demonic forces onto our society. Their mission is to discover what the universe is made of, and through the law of physics, what controls its behavior. Now, not only are they doing this, guys, by locating and observing and interacting with dark matter, demonic energy, they also aim to increase human knowledge. Now, as a result of this, there has been some speculations concerning the relation between CERN and its association with the idea of discovering gateways and portals into other dimensions. There has been claims indicating that CERN has conducted experiments that has opened doorways to parallel universes. Guys, there's, the event that took place. I'm not sure where it was. I forgot. I don't know if it was Miami or if you guys know what I'm talking about, put the state down below that the portal was opening and the demonic entity was actually coming through the portal, and many people witnessed this. And a lot of people may say, oh, this isn't real, this is just an illusion. But guys, there's a lot of things that are taking place that you wouldn't even imagine was taking place. There's a lot of demonic activities that are being conducted behind the scenes. There are dark entities that exist within these alternate universes. And these are the demonic entities, fallen angels, and other dark spirits from alternate dimensions that scientists, occultists, witches, warlocks, and New Age spiritualists, obtain their secret and innovative knowledge from. A lot of these tarot card readers, psychic mediums, people who use Ouija boards, people who channel spirits. These are also the same dark beings that are believed to connect and operate through artificial intelligence. Now, guys, the sun is the main source behind many of the experiments conducted by CERN, and for various reasons. One of which is it serves as an important resource for solar energy. And this saves them a lot of money. And it also controls the operation for majority, if not all, of their instruments and experiments that they use. There are many dark forces that uses the power of the sun and the moon to perform rituals, conduct spells, hexes, and curses. Scientists, witches, warlocks, occultists especially participate in these demonic ceremonies because it is said that they are worshiping sun gods in exchange for knowledge, wisdom, desired manifestations, and spell casting. There's a lot of dark magic associated with these events, even these scientific experiments. They not only want to communicate with these dark forces more frequently, but to also locate them, open portals, for these entities to come through. But not knowing that when these portals are opening, you're giving these dark entities the opportunity to inhabit people, objects, animals, plants, and trees. Now, don't get me wrong, this is exactly what they want to happen. And this is because these scientists are working with the elites to help form a one world movement. And as I mentioned in my previous video about New Age spiritual deception, pantheism is when the New Agers surround their beliefs around the Most High being everything and everything being Him. But the Most High is not who they're referring to. They are referring to their God, the Antichrist, which is the head and connection of all of these other sun gods and dark entities. Now, AI is said to be smarter than humans. Their secret mission is to convert dark energy into living things in AI. That's what these elite scientists are aiming to do. And these dark entities are spiritually attacking and indoctrinating humanity, dumbing down our society with desensitizing agendas, trends, and distractions. Not to mention MK Ultra, electronic weapons being used on our humanity as well. While these things are happening, these demonic spirits are aiming to control the world through AI and other devices. One of the head demonic entities being contacted and worshipped is Sarath. Sarath is a demon who possesses the spirit of the sun and is represented by the number 666, which is the mark of the beast. He is known to have more evil power than Lucifer, which is the morning star. And a lot of people say Lucifer is not Satan. He is. And yes, he did used to work for the Most High until he tried to take over and he was cast down. And this is when he became Satan, walking amongst the earth, looking to steal, kill, and destroy. He's operating through a lot of people on this earth. Many people that hold certain statures, people with money, people with a lot of influence, he's working through a lot of these people. And it's being looked over because our society is desensitized into believing that people with high statures and a lot of money are blessed by the Most High and they're not capable of doing evil. Many people don't feel this way, but a lot of people do. Rudolf Steiner, an Australian occultist, an architect, a social reformer, he was also an esoterist and a known clairvoyant. He actually predicted that during the times of the millennium, that spiritual people will be able to see Sarath, which he described as the divine image of Christ. And as we all know, in this case, he's referring to the Antichrist. It is also said that the sun demon will cause violence through those who are possessed by him. People who have strong ill natures and cold hearts. See, like I said before, these demonic entities know who to attack. They're attacking people who already hold malice in their hearts. People who are already out here committing evil and wicked acts. These are the people that they're working through. It is said that the sun demon will cause violence through those who are possessed by him. People who have strong ill nature, speaking words of destruction, frowning faces, a puffed chest, raging with furious emotions, which outwardly their faces will appear like those of animals. Pretty much meaning demons. This means that the demons that are being contacted by occultists, extraterrestrials, new agers, and scientists are entering through portals and are spiritually hijacking individuals on earth. Now, who are they hijacking? The non-believers of Yahweh, occultists, scientists, witches, warlocks, and new agers. And also people who are out here with cold hearts and just open-heartedly sinning, doing wicked and evil things on purpose, not caring about the outcome, not repenting. Remember, I mentioned earlier that within the 21st century, there will be over 224 solar eclipses. Now, also, the head sun god, Sarath, which he represents the mystery of the number 666 in black magic. He is said to inhabit the bodies of men during the millennium, causing them to act in wickedness and cause violence. He also said, Rudolf Steiner, in his prediction, he also said that their faces will appear as animals. Now, guys, let me show you this. Let's talk about demon face syndrome. According to research, demon face syndrome is a rare visual disorder in which it causes people to see stretched demonic features on the faces of others. Now, here's the actual word for this disorder. I cannot pronounce it, so I just don't even want to attempt at this point. But this is the word for this disorder. It's a very long word. Now, guys, I'm going to play a couple of clips explaining to you a little bit more about this disorder, and I will return.
This man is really going through it. Not only was he recently diagnosed for having demon face syndrome, but every person that he sees looks like this.
Imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere on people only, just like this, what you see behind me. Now that's a reality for a man named Victor Shera. He has extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called PMO, and it's commonly known as, or now known because people didn't know about it at first. It's called the demon face syndrome.
I don't know about y'all, but this obviously has to do with some spiritual warfare, because the doctor had never even heard about it, and the fact that there's only 75 cases made him have to come up with an explanation and diagnosis to let 59-year-old Victor Shera know exactly what was going on.
The condition, we're told, is called demon face syndrome. Now, it's when an individual sees someone and their face seems distorted, almost satanic, demon-like. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I haven't. And to your point, when I saw that only 75 cases have been reported, I said, ooh, we really looked high and low to find this one.
Here is the inventor, Daniel, and here are some of his photos. This one looks very much like an alien gray, maybe because it's gray, for instance. I'm not too sure. But this one looks rather bizarre. It looks something that belongs in a sci-fi movie. And this one kind of gives me Prometheus vibes. going on right here. But for those looking at these photos, what are your thoughts on this? And we can discuss that before we continue. This one, we got the fire entity going on right here. Angel type entity. If people had this technology in hand, I mean, these ones look slightly terrifying if you're looking at these, but if people had this technology in hand, would they reconsider what ghosts are, where maybe they could be these multi-dimensional entities instead?
Butterflies, do any of you remember the rock band Soundgarden? Because I do. I actually am a fan of rock music. I used to listen to rock music and secular music, which other secular music that I'm trying to pull away from. But guys, I remember when I was younger, the song Black Hole Sun. And I used to watch this video, and I think it was I was so fascinated as to what was going on. Not because I felt that it was a good thing, it's because I was trying to figure out what was actually going on in the video. It looked kind of spooky, but it drew my attention. If any of you guys remember, I'm going to show a clip right here from the actual video. Remember, the people's faces were distorted and similar to animal or demonic-like features. And when you think about it, the video was very demonic. And you can tell that now that I'm older and I'm analyzing the video through the Most High's discernment, I now realize that this video was very demonic, and they were actually calling on the sun gods. The people in the video were actually demonically possessed. So demon face syndrome has a lot to do with demonic possession. And the people who are calling on these sun gods and these spirits, they're actually inhabiting these spirits, and these spirits are actually becoming who they are. It's becoming a part of them, and it's actually starting to show in their features. After doing some research on the black hole sun, I found out that the black hole aligns with the sun and the CERN telescope when these scientists are conducting experiments. The CERN telescope is a telescope experiment powered by solar energy to locate axons from the sun. Now, these axons consist of dark matter and dark energy, and let's just say demonic energy. Now, the LHC, which is the Large Hadron Collider, is the world's most powerful accelerator, colliding high energy particles in a controlled location for observation and interaction purposes. Remember, I said earlier, these scientists are literally trying to locate demons, get them in a controlled environment to observe and actually interact with them. When protons are collided together at a high speed and energy levels, foreign and potentially unknown particles can protrude, causing a black hole, which a lot of us may also know as the Big Bang Theory. Now, many fear that the LHC created a black hole using Einstein's theory of relativity, which is a formula combining energy and mass at a speed of light at high velocities, high speed, as fast as the speed of light. They're aiming to do these things to communicate with demonic spirits, but they're not thinking about the possible detriment that it can cause on Earth. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, it can't cause anything terrible to happen. Nothing's going to blow up. Nothing's going to happen or harm us. They're thinking about it from a physical perspective. Nobody's thinking about the spiritual harm that is taking place when these things are happening. And you know what's very harmful about it? You will never actually know what these scientists are doing. But what you will see is people running around doing crazy things, hurting each other, committing horrendous crimes, because spiritually they're opening up something, and a lot of demonic things are happening because they're allowing the access of demonic entities to enter our society, because they're opening portals to other dimensions. The black hole from a spiritual perspective is a never-ending portal that leads to dark alternate universes, and it allows dark spiritual entities, demons, and fallen angels, even the sun gods, to enter and leave Earth as they please. I'm going to play a clip for you guys, and I will be right back.
There is something more supernatural on the drawing board at CERN than what is being admitted. Even Adam Barker of Tech Bubble wrote of CERN a while back that with the LHC, CERN are expecting to find other dimensions and open portals to these dimensions. If you have the image of Stargate in your head right now, you're spot on. That's what he said. And then he went on to draw parallels to the biblical story of Jacob's ladder. Perhaps you remember the dream that says, "Behold, there was a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it." Then Jacob wakes up from his sleep and he says, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." And he was afraid. And he says, "How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." Genesis 28. Now this ladder, described in the first book of the Bible, describes something like a portal from heaven to earth through which God's angels, interdimensional and spiritual beings from another reality, were traveling. When Jacob wakes up, he refers to the location as a gate, much like today's trendy terms gateway or Stargate. One of CERN's goals is to recreate Jacob's ladder, according to Barker, and to reopen a portal. Now, Sergio Bertolucci, who is the official director for research and scientific computing at CERN, he was asked a while back about this extra-dimensional doorway by The Register, which is a London and New York operated science and technology journal. And he didn't hesitate with an enlightening response. He said, "Yes, out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it." Now, prophecy in numerous parts of the Bible refer to a coming day when portals will be opened and spiritual entities are going to pass through and come to the earth. Now, if that's true, and if those verses are accepted for their literal meaning and not written off as some kind of poetic allegory, as some scholars have claimed, then the idea of CERN playing with gateways is a major concern.
This is Houston. Say again, please?
And if, as CERN claims, they're only out to explore space, time, matter, particles, and the origin of our known universe and planets from exclusively a scientific or Darwinian-related perspective, if their agenda is unrelated to Bible prophecy entirely, then what is it with all this mystical symbolism that they knowingly are associating themselves with? Wouldn't it be more appropriate for them just to proudly display a polished statue of a particle or some artist depiction of the Big Bang instead of the statue of Shiva? For those who have not yet heard about this controversial piece of art that CERN proudly exhibits between buildings 39 and 40 near the main building of their operation, it stands as really the most visible and celebrated imagery behind their work, Shiva. This is the Hindu god of destruction. In 2004, the government of India which has had a long-standing friendship with leaders behind the CERN project even before the completion of the Large Hadron Collider, they gifted CERN with this bronze work of an art depicting Shiva as Nataraja, the lord or sometimes king of the dance. This dance that Shiva performs in the sculpture is the one that provides the source of the creation cycle in Hindu mythology, the preservation of all life in existence and the termination of all life in existence. The Rudra Tandava is a dance that especially displays Shiva's sadistic personality as he rains down the ultimate destruction upon a weary planet. The plaque at the side beside the statue, however, reads in part, "Hundreds of years ago, Indian artists created visual images of dancing Shivas in a beautiful series of bronzes. In our time, physicists have used the most advanced technology to portray the patterns of the cosmic dance. The metaphor of the cosmic dance thus unifies ancient mythology, religious art, and modern physics." So right there out in the open for all to see is a direct correlation between the Hindu perception of Shiva hundreds of years ago, which is the concept of destroyer that I explained a moment ago, and our time, unifying, quote, ancient mythology, religious art, and modern physics.
Something is going on.
You think everything's a conspiracy?
Everything is.
Additionally, and perhaps even more important, there's a significant section of CERN that is built upon the St. Genus Poili, which is a commune in Ain, a department of France. In Roman times, the St. Genus Poili was called Apaliacum, but the town and a temple were dedicated there in ancient times to Apollyon, the destroyer, the Shiva Horus, if you will. Apollyon is also the angel of the bottomless pit, referred to in Revelation 9:11. And then there is a connection between CERN and the Gothard Base Tunnel, the GBT, which is the world's deepest and longest tunnel system, consisting of two parallel passages, each moving in a single direction on a single track. The GBT passes directly beneath St. Gothard's Pass, a strategic north-south corridor that connects northern and southern Switzerland. The connection to the Large Hadron Collider has to be made primarily because of the bizarre opening ceremony that was live streamed to the entire world on June 1, 2016, that included this highly occult, demonic dance with characterization, beginning with a call to unite the religions of the world by conducting an interfaith blessing of the tunnel beside a statue of St. Barbara, the patron saint of miners. Following the blessing at the statue of St. Barbara, the press, along with visiting dignitaries, also paid tribute to the 9 miners who had lost their lives during construction of the tunnel. Bodio's southern portal provided the visiting dignitaries a disturbing parade, really, of miners, erotic dancers, zombies, fallen angels, all of whom were obeying the call of what they called the shepherd, whose yodels invoked the appearance of the event's infernal master of ceremonies, a goat man, portrayed by a young and energetic dancing male. This creature is shown with a Baphomet headdress, a goat demon's head, if you will, and a goat body costume with a hairy pelt, and then it had a formal tuxedo over the top. The imagery was heavily evocative of the German and Bavarian Christmas demon known as Krampus.
Is anybody aware that CERN's testing its Hadron Collider on the day of the total solar eclipse? Does nobody find this sketchy? To search for invisible matter that secretly powers our universe, aka dark matter. Do keep in mind, this is after a 2-year hibernation with hopes of unraveling more mysterious, specifically dark matter. Scientists just recently began preliminary tests by sending billions of protons around the LHC's ring of superconducting magnets to boost their energy and ensure the $4 billion machine was in working condition. And get this right, they're going to continue the experiment until later this year, when it will then be put under a long hibernation for CERN to transform it into the next version, the high luminosity LHC. Do keep in mind, the accelerator sits 300 feet fucking underground at the border of France and Switzerland. And does nobody find it ironic that it first went live on September 10th, 2008, while everybody was distracted by the election? Now do keep in mind, like I stated at the beginning of the video, the last test was on March 8th, okay? Teams from around the world waited inside the underground lab for a glimpse at the beam circling inside the ring of the LHC. But you see, the first attempt this month did not go as planned after the beam only made it partially around. But after tinkering with the mechanics, the team watched in wonder as the beam circled the accelerator in less than 20 fucking minutes. At full power, this is insane. Trillions of protons will race around the LHC accelerator ring 11,245 times a second and travel just 7 miles per hour less than the speed of light, people. And on April 8th, the team will send the beams through the tunnel where they will collide. The team will be on the hunt for dark matter, which makes up around 28% of our massive universe, but it has never been seen or proven. And the experiment is scheduled to occur the same day and the same time as the Great North American Solar Eclipse. And for some ungodly reason, people are not going to find this to be sketchy. But I'm not even sure people are even aware of what CERN is to even begin with. I highly implore everybody to look into the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory in Antarctica and the specific experiments that they're testing, because CERN does a lot of those experiments, specifically with neutrinos, to search for something called a muon. And when you place a muon in a strong enough electrical current, you might be able to produce a certain beam. Kind of like Maui, but I'm not going to lay claim to anything being true, because I already made a video about that months ago and I got issued a fuck ton of violations for it. But I'm pretty sure people could put 2 and 2 together. I'm just saying, people, this should have everybody sketched out right now. And this literally just adds to all of the other events that are occurring in April alone. Like the 2 broods of cicadas that haven't managed to emerge since 1803, emerging directly in the totality path? I'm not going to state that that sounds biblical, but I mean, come on, people. Not that that really means anything. All religions really just tie into each other anyway. But God, it just feels like there's going to be some dark times ahead of us. And I'm sure it doesn't help that 4 days after the total solar eclipse, there just so happens to be a movie releasing in movie theaters called Civil War. So who knows what'll happen? But I do know that everybody needs to be mindfully aware of their surroundings. Because if you don't, you're simply going to be left behind in the age of this new Earth.
Now, as we all know, the solar eclipse took place April 8th. And many were concerned at that time that CERN was going to conduct an experiment that would cause harm to humanity. Now, April 5th, 3 days before the event, CERN announced the restart in the LHC. And this was marking their official 2024 physics research session. So that means that around this time, it is very possible that 3 days before the event took place, that these scientists were trying to locate demonic energy, make black holes, form portals into the universe in order to connect with alternate dimensions. Although it was reported that CERN will not open a portal during April 8th, that still doesn't mean that something didn't take place behind the scenes. Like I said, we would never know what's taking place in these labs and other facilities because we're not there. What we do know is that some strange events occurred in the early morning of the solar eclipse. And one of which that stood out to me was the tragic event where the YouTuber and astrology influencer by the name of Danielle Johnson allegedly unalived her boyfriend in their Los Angeles home. After doing so, she pushed her 2 children out of a moving vehicle going at over 100 miles per hour, unaliving her 8-month-old daughter, and her 9-year-old daughter survived the event. LAPD investigators believe the tragic event was stemmed from the solar eclipse that was about to take place. Driving at 100 miles per hour before crashing into a tree and unaliving herself. Check these clips out, guys, and I'll be right back.
This case has been so shocking from beginning to end, and now we're learning about a new disturbing layer to this tragedy.
A lot of our foundations as a society are toxic. They're ungrounded and they're unrealistic.
LAPD confirms Danielle Johnson, aka Danielle Ayoka, seen here on the Scotty and Sylvia show, was an astrology influencer on social media who was concerned about the eclipse.
Eclipses, there's more births, there's more deaths.
Leading up to the eclipse on Monday, Danielle, who went by the handle Mystic X Lipstick, made several alarming posts like these. Wake up, the apocalypse is here. And the eclipse is the epitome of spiritual warfare. She also reposted alerts that signaled this is the final warning. Something big is coming.
This type of story is probably one of the most tragic and horrifying stories that we'll ever hear about.
Like the rest of us, clinical psychologist Dr. David Swanson, who never treated Danielle, is trying to make sense of this horrific tragedy. Just hours before the eclipse was to take place over California, Danielle stabbed her boyfriend to death in Woodland Hills, pushed her kids out of a moving car on the 405 freeway in the Westchester area, which resulted in the death of her 8-month-old baby and the injury of her 9-year-old daughter. Then Danielle died after crashing her Porsche into a tree in Redondo Beach.
Perhaps she thought that this eclipse meant that it was the end of the world. The apocalypse was here, especially because of some of the statements that she made.
There were plenty of similar posts and videos on social media predicting all kinds of disasters and the end of the world.
And when you're sitting on TikTok or you're on social media, and clearly she was an influencer, so you know she watched a lot of this stuff, it's very easy to get sucked into the fear that these videos start to create.
Could this have been postpartum depression?
I don't think it would have been totally postpartum depression, because we have a lot of women who deal with postpartum depression and it doesn't result in something like this. But certainly any type of mood disorder makes it much harder to cope with other things as they start to come up.
Looking at this tragedy in hindsight, Dr. Swanson says there were obvious signs. The happy and smiling Danielle had changed and was struggling with something dark.
She was warning people. She was saying, pick a side. The way that she typed about it was in all caps. It looked like she was very disturbed.
Butterflies, anyone who is involved in New Age and they're connected with astrology and tarot card reading, as this young lady was, there's a great chance that demonic sun gods and other dark entities could have taken over, because they are actually connected to these beliefs and practices. She could have possibly been demonically possessed. She could have possibly been taking place in a astrologic ritual that went wrong. Because when you call on these spirits so much, they actually become a part of you. She actually became an open vessel for the demonic spirits to inhabit her body whenever they pleased. They actually owned her spirit at that time. Demons are being manifested out of selfishness and deception. I feel so because a lot of people knows what they're actually getting into, and just because these demonic entities are giving them what they want, they're not thinking about the lives of others, and they're not even thinking about their own, because these demons are not your friend. Satan is not your friend. They will never be able to repent to the Most High and get into the gates of heaven. We have a chance to do something that they will never have a chance to do. They actually hate us and will do anything to destroy us. And anything that's connected to them, I don't care how innocent it seems, there's some type of underlying evil deception that is planned to destroy you. Scientists contacting demons for knowledge, personal interactions, aiming to fully enter dark dimensions. They're paving the way for darkness to destroy our society. They're inflicting mind control tactics and evil upon our humanity. And this is all a part of the one world order one world religion, one world way of thinking, everybody under one mind control tactic, doing everything that the enemy wants them to do, stringing everyone along like a puppet. I feel that at this time, butterflies, it is safe to say that demons are amongst us, walking amongst us in our society, seeking whom they can devour. And they are inhabiting anyone that is an open vessel for them to come through. Family, friends, partners, even strangers, anybody. It depends on how they are living their lives. It depends on how that person's living their life. If they're worshiping Yahweh wholeheartedly, it depends on if they're into New Age and sorcery. It depends on if their heart is in the right place. It depends on the spirit of the person. Is this person operating out of the Holy Spirit and love, or are they operating out of demonic energy and cold-heartedness and wickedness? The enemy knows who he can use and he knows who he cannot use. If you are operating through the Holy Spirit and you're trying to live upright and you have that light within you, he's going to attack you because he knows that he cannot use you. That's why you may see a lot of people around here, especially, to my chosen ones, you might say, well, why is this person doing so much wrong and they're not being attacked and they're not going through anything? It's because they're on this earth and they're living worldly, which is the ways of the wicked. So the enemy doesn't have a reason to attack something that he feels already belongs to him. So what he's going to do is use those type of people to attack you. And the reason why you receive those attacks is because you won't submit to the enemy's control system. You choose to be set apart. You choose not to participate in all these evil, worldly, wicked trends and agendas and ways of thinking that is leading our society to the pits of hell. When you choose to be different, you're going to be attacked. Always know that. So I really, with that being said, I hope that this video helps someone. I pray that everyone is continuing to stay uprooted with the Most High, stay in your word, try to stay away from any distractions, anything or anyone that is not trying to live upright, that is trying to pull you away from your relationship with God. Don't let anyone or anything pull you away from the Most High. If you feel that something or someone is pulling you away from the Most High, separate from them or it. I don't care how small, or how big the distraction may be. Share this video, guys. Share this video. I would really appreciate that. I just want you guys to know that the enemy is very sneaky, and he can come in different ways, in ways that you wouldn't even imagine, to try and trick you away from your relationship with God. So make sure you stay alert. Make sure you stay in your word. Stay sober and diligent so you can be aware of the things that's going on around you, because the enemy's very sneaky and he's out to try to pull as many people with him as he can, because he knows that his time is up. I love you guys so much. Continue to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I have a lot more content coming your way. Stay safe out there, guys. And until the next video, peace and blessings. Mwah.